Ladies and gentlemen, this is the XEV 9e, the bigger of the two amazing electric SUVs that Mahindra have revealed. And like I mentioned in my BE6E walk around as well, this is a watershed moment in the history of the Indian automobiles. No other car maker has made a car which are so well made and which have so many features and are technologically so advanced, at least on the spec sheets and in terms of the way they look and feel from the inside. So let's see what is different with the XEV 9e as compared to the BE6e. And if you want to know everything about the BE6e as well, just check out our detailed walk around video. We have covered everything that you want to know about that car in that detailed walk around video. Now let's start with the face of this car. And as you would immediately realize, this is not as aggressive as its smaller brethren. While the BE6e is very sporty, very aggressive, very angular, this car is a little bit more understated. And while this one is also quite angular, if you compare it with an everyday SUV, you'd find this one also filled with a lot of slashes and cuts. But as compared to its smaller brethren, this one has lesser of them. And nowhere else is it more evident than on the grille of this car, and it gets this flat front unlike the BE6e, which gets a very angular, and if you look at it from the side you realize that that snout really protrudes and looks very aggressive and sporty. This one looks a little bit more understated, and it's all done in this body color, and at the bottom you have a bumper which is done in piano black. This BE6e comes with level 2 plus ADAS, where it has some additional functions over the normal level 2 ADAS that you have. The 360-degree camera sits here, and you have this really angular LED DRL which is connected, and you have the low beam here, the fog lamp light is here, and the other lights are for the high beam. Now you also get this Infinity Mahindra logo, which basically is for the Mahindra EVs. And coming towards the side, you would instantly realize that the overhang on this car is a lot more than the BE6e, because that's primarily the difference. The wheelbase on both the cars is the same, but it's actually the length which is different, basically down to the length of the car, a little bit up front but more of it at the rear. And the big difference that this car has over its smaller brethren is that this one gets a really big 660 plus liter boot space as opposed to the 455 liters on the BE6e. So that's the primary difference. The frunk here is also a lot bigger. So let's have a look at the space that we have underneath this bonnet. This is not the engine bay area, this is a frunk, and you have a massive 150 liters of frunk area here. This is also illuminated with this little light here, and underneath this you have some more space to spare. So 150 liters of frunk area as opposed to 45 liters on the BE6e. Lighting and the wipers and everything else is automated on this car. It's loaded with tech. And if you look at it from the side, some things are very evident. Now the wheels, while being same in size as the BE6e, are a different design, and they are shot with a wide 245 section rubber. This, as you can see, is pack 3, and pack 3 is the top of the line variant, and it's been priced at 21.9 lakh rupees ex showroom for pack 1, which is 2 notches below this, and that would translate to an on-road price of about 23.5 lakh rupees in Chennai. So that gives you some perspective on where the prices of this car will start from. Also, the bookings will start in late January and the deliveries will start in late February or late March. Continuing with the walk around, the ground clearance here is about 207 mm, and as you can see, you have this unique pattern here. You have these ridges, and just like the BE6e, you have this really thick cladding on the lower part of the door. The door handles are flush fitting, and the roofline on this car also is swooping. It gets a massive sunroof, but the glass panel does not move. Also, there's a pattern on the sunroof, and it can be lit in as many as 16 million colors. I'm going to show you how it works as well. Now, the front window of this car is definitely bigger than the BE6e, and so is the rear. You also get this rear quarter panel. So unlike the 6e, which has a very small greenhouse area at the rear, this one has a bigger greenhouse. And thanks to the overhang, the car looks like a fastback. It gets a powered tailgate, and you also get this spoiler bit on the roof, a shark fin antenna, and the rear windscreen is very steeply rigged. It is indeed a coupe SUV, and as you can see, the tail light here is a connected unit, and what you see here is the charging socket. Now just like the front, you also have this pattern here, and you also have this satin chrome line here. All of this is done in piano black, and the rear view camera sits here. You have the XEV 9e branding here and the Mahindra electric logo. This is the reverse light. All of the lighting here is LED, and the boot is powered. It's a massive boot, 663 liters of boot space, and this space is only until the seat height. If you take it all the way to the roof, you'll get even more boots. And as you can see, there is enormous space here, so you can literally load it up with whatever you like. There is a 12-volt power socket, and you can also drop the seats in 60-40 ratio by using these flaps here. There's an illumination here, and underneath you also have a space saver spare with some space to spare here as well. You also have these hooks for tying in bungee cords, and then you also have this parcel shelf which you can draw and fasten here if you so wish. The boot, as I mentioned, is powered, and that's a fantastic feature to have for a car in this class. Now this car can also be locked and unlocked using NFC, and open the wide door, which opens actually more than 90 degrees, and you'd be welcomed by a seat which, despite a good height, is not too high to climb into. And as you can see, myself being 5 feet 10, I can climb into the cabin very easily. Although because of its sporty roofline, you have to be careful, or if you're too tall, you might just brush your head with the roof. Now the materials are all good quality. They are not top notch, but all of these materials are soft to touch. This plastic is hard, this plastic is hard. You have piano black inserts here, and let's just see whether the windows are one touch down or no. So for the rear, the windows are not one touch down and up, but for the front they are. This is how the electric mirror controls look like, and this car of course comes with a 360-degree camera. The ORVM is quite nicely done. It does come with a 360-degree camera unit and blinkers as well. You have space for a 1-liter water bottle here, and unlike the BE6E where you have the seat controls here, the seat controls on this car are actually here like the Mercedes cars. And you also have a Harman Kardon 16 speaker system here. It sounds absolutely terrific. And the door pulls here, unlike on BE6E where you have straps, you have proper door pulls. You also have a 3-way memory function. Let's also have a look at all of these controls. You have all of these buttons here, including your powered tailgate release, HUD, on or off. You have traction control off, hill descent control, parking sensors, as well as electric charger. And as you can see, the pedals are done in a very nice metallic finish with these rubber studs, and you also have this very nice dead pedal as well. You also have this manual lumbar support, and the steering, which is tilt and telescopically adjustable, is also illuminated. The controls for energy recuperation are right here, and on the left hand side you have the volume controls. You have the mode for media selection, telephony, ADAS and cruise control buttons, as well as the menu buttons. Now as you can see, you have three 12.3-inch screens here, and when I change the mode from range, which is for the higher range, or to everyday, which is for obviously everyday use, to race, the color of the screens also changes. And this is the driver screen. You can go to the menu and choose navigation, analytics, drive assist or focus. All of this is very intuitive, very easy to use as well. Now as you can see, the drive selector here is not the thruster type that we have on BE6E. This is a more compact unit. Electronic parking brake, auto hold, and then you have the climate control buttons here. You can go directly to home. Here you can choose the modes, and here you can press this button to increase or decrease the volume. Now apart from that, you have two cup holders. All of this is done in piano black, and you also have a wireless charger here. There is this space for your wallet or cell phone, two Type-C USB sockets, and this one here can be used to load in your media as well. You get 2-zone climate control, and here you have an armrest under which you have some space, and you can easily store a couple of wallets or 2 cell phones in here. This is also cooled. Then you also have this dedicated button to bring on the 360-degree camera, or you can also get into the parking mode. And as I mentioned while doing my BE6E walk around as well, this car can auto park and has the software and intelligence to park in as many as 200 use cases. This key also is quite special, and as you can see, there are 2 buttons flanking the key, and they can actually be used to call the car and to move the car fore and aft. This car actually comes with pretty advanced parking functions. Now this screen that you see here is meant especially for the passenger, and you can play your own entertainment. So the screens can individually play media from BYOD, which is bring your own device, and you can connect them individually to the screens and play your own media. And once you go to home, you realize that you have some functions to play around with. You can also use the Vivaldi browser for teleconferencing using this camera, which by the way can detect drowsiness automatically. If you are drowsy, if your eyes are not focusing on the road, this can detect that and it will nudge you to take a break. Apart from that, this also adjusts the HUD, which is by the way augmented reality enabled, to go up or down based on what your eye and head position is within the car. Apart from that, this car also comes with a 16 speaker 1400 watt system from Harman Kardon, and that system is also Dolby Atmos enabled, and it is indeed one of the best audio systems out there. Apart from that, if you want to have a look at the 360-degree camera on this car, let's just bring that on, and once you go to reverse, you'll bring on the camera. This is the front view, this is the rear view. You can have a look at all four wheels or a 3D view. The camera can probably be a little bit better. We have seen better cameras on Tata cars and some other cars as well. And here, as you can see, it lets you get into the auto mode, drive out, virtual mode or 360-degree camera mode, and we can showcase these modes to you only when this car is moving. Apart from that, as I mentioned, this car also comes with ambient lighting, and you can use as many colors as you want. Let's just go there and demonstrate that to you as well. So let's go to ambient lighting, and here in custom you can choose from as many as 16 million colors, and in static, as you would see, the roof has been lit now and I can change the color to my choice. Roof lighting can also be chosen from the 16 million colors that we have. You can also choose from one of the moods: spring, monsoon, summer, autumn, winter, or it can also be connected to the drive mode. The battery on this car has also undergone very rigorous tests, and it has undergone a nail piercing test, it has also undergone flame test, and it also has been submerged in water. So the safety of this car is just like most of the Mahindra cars, is expected to be a 5-star rated car, and we don't have any doubt that this car will also come out with flying colors. Here you have the start stop button, and at 69% battery, this is showing us a range of 352 kilometers, which brings me to the battery capacity of this car. So there are two battery packs to choose from. One is 59 kilowatt hour, and in terms of the range, this car is going to offer you about 530 odd kilometers WLTP range with the bigger battery pack, which would translate to about 500 kilometers according to Mahindra. But even in the worst case scenario, I expect this car to go about 460 to 470 kilometers without any problem. The smaller battery pack, which is about 59 kilowatt hour, should offer you a range of about 400 kilometers, 350 to 400 kilometers, and that is the battery pack which essentially will be sold in high numbers because the price of that battery pack would be less. Now, in terms of the acceleration, the bigger battery pack can propel this car from 0 to 100 in 6.8 seconds. The smaller BE6E does that number in about 6.7 seconds. And in terms of power and torque, while the torque on both the battery packs remains at 380 Newton meters, smaller battery pack produces about 230 bhp, while the bigger battery pack will take you to about 280 HP, which is a very good number. And let's also talk about a few other features here. So apart from the 360-degree camera, you have wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, you have the climate here where you have a 2-zone climate control, you have an air purifier as well, and you have seat ventilation for both the front driver and passenger. I can use the camera for taking pictures or using it as a dash cam, and apart from this, this also can be used as a safety device where the car constantly monitors what's happening outside, what's happening inside, and on your phone you can constantly monitor as to what is happening with your car. This is how the blinds come on, just like on the BE6E, and as I mentioned, you cannot move the glass panel on this car. And here you don't have a vanity mirror for the driver. For the passenger you do. and you get vanity mirrors on both ends on the BE6E. You also get an auto dimming mirror. You have this HUD bay here. And then if you look at the quality of the materials, it's all soft to touch. Here also, while it's hard to touch, it's actually a very nice material. All of this is soft to touch material. These materials are again hard to touch, and if you have a look at the upholstery of the seats as well, they are done in this perforated leatherette. The steering has also been finished in this two-tone leather, and the seat back here gets this very nice insert, and the headrest here is a little bit more traditional. On the BE6E, it's a little bit more sporty, where you have a button here to take it up or bring it down. The seat belts are also height adjustable. You also get this button here for the rear passenger to move the co-passenger seat fore and aft. So if you're sitting in the boss seat, you can actually move this seat forward and backwards without any problem. Now let's also have a look at the glove box. You have some space here, and there is a socket for DVR, and the glove box is reasonably sized, although I don't see it as cooled. Now apart from all of this, what Mahindra is claiming is that they are using the fastest chips available anywhere for the processing and the graphic interface of this car. And what they're also claiming is Maya, which is the AI system or the software system that works on this car. It's a multi-modular system. What they're saying is that also is one of the fastest as well as one of the most well-developed, smartest systems anywhere. And all of that is yet to be seen. Tomorrow we'll get to have a better experience with this car. It's already 11:13 in the night and we have to get out at 6 in the morning, so we have not been able to test out that aspect of this car. But what Mahindra tells us is that Maya is a self-learning system. It's very fast and it's one of the best software systems along with the fastest chips anywhere on any car in the world. One more thing, while the driver's seat is electric, you don't have any electric controls for the passenger, and the passenger seat is completely manual. In terms of seat comfort, I don't have any problem. I am not a very short or a very slim person. I am 5 feet 10 and reasonably built, and even so I have some space to spare. The bolstering is good, so even if you are a very heftily built person, you will not have any problem at all sitting here in this seat. Now let's get into the back seat and see how much space we have there. Now just like the BE6E, the door handle on this car also is in a rather peculiar place. You also have these blinds, soft to touch material atop. This is again hard plastic. No one touch up and down. This is all piano black. Chrome door pulls and space for 1 liter water bottle. You have to climb in slightly as this seat is slightly higher. But once you are inside, you'd see that there is ample thigh support, and the cherry on the cake is that the seat here reclines, unlike the BE6E. So you have more comfort here. The headroom is about the same, my height being 5 feet 10. As you can see, my head is just about brushing. So if you're taller than me, your head would be brushing. So that's a bit of an issue, but I think very marginally the space here for the head is slightly better. Let me move to the side and show you the seat in totality. And this is 60-40 split. You have this armrest, 2 cup holders, 3 individual adjustable headrests. You have this reading light, this handle along with a coat hook, magazine holders. As I mentioned, you have this lever to move the seat back and forth. There is ample space in the door panels. The AC vent here is not as fancy looking as the one that we saw on the BE6E. And then you have some space here to store your wallet as well. Unlike the BE6E, where the Type-C USB sockets are placed here, the sockets are right in the backrest of the front seat. And as you can see here, these entertainment sockets have been fitted. So if you want screens to be fit for individual entertainment for the backbenchers, you can have that done. Now clearly, since this is a longer car, I can see that the leg room while I was sitting there was very slightly better, and the seats are also reclining. So in terms of comfort, you have slightly better comfort here. According to Mahindra, the NVH levels will also be fantastic on this car. We cannot attest to that. The boot space is also better, but the general feeling of comfort and space is about the same as the BE6. Well, truth be told, I honestly like the BE6E a lot more than the XEV 9e, because that car to me personally is far sporty looking, and this one here, apart from the slightly extra boot space that you have, doesn't offer any real advantages. Although the price difference is also not all that much, so if you want to be carrying a lot of luggage around, the XEV9e makes sense, but for everything else, the BE6E has my heart. Which one of the two do you like better? Do let us know in the comment section. And if I have missed something, if you have any other questions, put your questions down in the comment section. I'll be very happy to answer them personally. And if you like the video, do hit that like button, subscribe to Motoroids. And until next time, this is your friend Amit Changani signing off. Rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.